Anything else, Laura?
That's it. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Any questions on anything that Laura has brought up? All right, we'll move on to under old business, AgCom vacancies. Welcome again, Shane, and I understand you're interested in joining the commission. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, very good, thank you. So I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to recommend to the select board that they appoint Shane Wheeler as a member, as an alternate member, I should say, to the AgCom Commission. Shane, do you have a middle initial?
D for Curtis.
D? D? Okay. Thank you. So that motion has been made. Can we have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you, Mike. Open for discussion. Any need for further discussion? Call for a vote on the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So it's anonymous. You all agree. It's a tough day today. Okay, so I will go forward and notify the select board. They will take the appropriate action. I'm sure they'll be in touch with you, Shane, and we'll go from there. I'd also like, while we're on the same subject, to make a motion that we approve Deborah Rolfe as a full-time member and not as an alternate member. And also that she would be willing to be the vice chairman of the commission. Can I have a second of that?
Second.
I guess it's vice person, excuse me.
I will not take offense.
Okay. I can't keep up with all this stuff at my age. So the motion's been made and seconded. Open for discussion. Hearing no discussion, all in favor? All right,
Aye.
all right, again, everybody agreed. I will bring that to the select board's attention as well. Thank you, Deborah. Next item on the agenda has to do with the contractor for the garden shed roof. I haven't had an opportunity to follow up on my early spring conversation. I'm trying to think of the name of the Tom Door.
Door.
So I will be following up in the month of September. He told me way back in early spring that he was out straight and that it would have to be in early to late fall. So I will follow up on that as an action item and report at the next meeting on that subject. Next item on the agenda has to do with John Root's presentation. At the end of the June meeting, I took an action item, contact John, and I did, and said, hey, how come you haven't scheduled anything? And I didn't get much of an answer. He said he would do it and he would coordinate an advertising campaign with the library and 19 Carter. And it was going to be a Zoom meeting, et cetera, et cetera. I've heard nothing more. Deborah made an inquiry as a member of the Cultural Council. I had recommended to Deborah that we cancel it. And I guess there are some rules and regulations that go with that. So I'd like to have Deborah speak to that subject if she would, please.
Yeah, the rules and regulations are that he has until the end of December 12/31, where are we, 22, to do the presentation. And if he does not, then the money gets rolled back to the Cultural Council and it can be regranted in our next cycle, but we can't automatically just cancel it. So we just have to wait and see what he decides to do. We have been rolling over the funds for 2 years now, which is unusual because of COVID. That usually doesn't happen. Is if an artist or a presenter doesn't do what they were initially granted to do at the end of the fiscal year that they applied, then the funds automatically went back. But because of COVID, they've allowed us to roll it over for 2 years now. So if he does not comply by the end of 12/31/22, then the event will be canceled and the funds will roll back to the town, and we'll be able to grant it to another presenter or performer to do something of value to the town.
So we wanted a spring presentation. That obviously isn't going to happen.
Right, it can't go to 2023 at this point.
Right. So should I contact them? Should the council contact them to say, hey, what's your schedule? We want it in the fall or something like that?
Right, well, because it's something that the AgCom initially supported, then the request has to come from the AgCom.
Okay,
So we're really not supposed to get involved with that
okay.
in the Cultural Council.
So I will send him an email asking for a schedule to make this presentation in the fall. And if he doesn't, I will tell him that the funds will expire on 12/31/22.
Yeah, and he's probably very aware of that because he's been around for a long time doing
Right.
things. We've had him come to the town several times in the
Right.
last 10 years or so. So he should be very aware of that.
And do we still want him to do it electronically through a Zoom meeting type of thing?
I know we've gone back and forth on that with him.
You know, as we get into the winter months, this ugly virus always seems to pick its head up in the cool weather, the cold weather. So maybe we should just continue with a Zoom type meeting.
And let's see what it is. I mean, as someone on the Cultural Council, I'd also like to see what he does with a Zoom,
Okay,
what this presenter does with a Zoom meeting.
Well, that's a good point.
okay. Is that the consensus? We'll go with that approach. Okay, very good. Thank you. I will send him an email. Thank you, Deborah. Next item, the replacement of the tines on the small tiller. You have a current status on that, Deborah?
Well, I know I talked to you, so I'll let everybody else know. Laura and I had a discussion the other day, so I'll fill you in on that. They are not available due to the age of the tiller through Robinsons. They suggested that maybe I look to eBay to see if there was anything out there, but because they have changed back and forth exactly what the numbers are and how they've structured it, I'm really not comfortable personally doing that. But Laura and I had a discussion about maybe looking at one of the local welders or somebody who could actually make the tine or the 2 tines that are missing. So if that's something you'd like me to pursue, I will have one of the gardeners that I've had working with the tiller look at it, see if it's something that maybe if we took the exact ones that are compromised to a welder and say, hey, can you do this for us?
Yep.
Then, you know, maybe that's a way that we can still keep that tiller moving along for us.
Okay.
I think
So
it's 2 tines that are broken.
So we have people in town that have that capability.
Well, I know,
Actually, I was wondering, maybe we should start with the highway department.
that's another option.
That probably would be the least expensive approach if they can do it. I'm sure they have the welding capability, whether they can do it or not. And there may be some material costs or something, but that might be the place to start and see where we go from there. And if not, then there are people in town that do it commercially that we could approach too.
So if that's the route you'd like me to take, that's,
I think we ought to at least approach them and ask, yeah.
I'm not sure I really want to get into the whole eBay thing with
Right.
searching it out. I'm not comfortable with the, they've changed it over the years. I was comfortable with Robinsons. I thought they were really great in the advice that they gave me. And they said they just don't deal with that kind of stuff because they're not always sure what they're going to get.
Okay.
And how easy it is to return it if it's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give the highway department a shot at it and see if they have any recommendations as well.
Okay, so I will talk to the gardener that has been working with the tiller and, when he did the, the oil and all that kind of stuff, and I'll see if he can take a look at them and get me the right time so that then I can take them to Fred and see if Fred can do that.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Then I'll
James, you're
come
up.
back with how much money I need.
Pardon me?
Then I'll come back with how much money we
Right,
need to
right.
put towards it.
Yeah, but we do still have some money reserved for that, so.
Right.
Yeah, I see that we had about $160 put
Right.
aside towards that.
Okay, James, you're on. Installation of the security cameras.
I'll be able to get to that very soon. We had some folks around the farm get COVID over the past month or two, so that slowed me down a bit. But I've kind of been flat out as a result of that. But I should be able to get that up and running. I've been playing with them a little bit and was working on putting together something to mount them to the building. So I should be able to do it pretty quick.
All right, very good. Let us know if any of us can help in any way. We'll do
All right,
what we
yeah.
can. Yeah, as you know, I'm not very technically astute with these kind of things, but you
Yeah,
need
I
a
think
hammer. I got a hammer.
it seems pretty straightforward. Deborah and I met about a month ago and looked at the shed and how to kind of piece everything together. So I think we have a plan. So
All right. Very good. Thank you. Going on to new business. Community garden status report. Deborah, again.
Our second big work day went very well. A lot of people turned out to help do, maintenance work that we needed to do. The harvest has been great. We have a lot of wildlife down there, which speaks volumes for how wonderful the harvest is. They've been enjoying it as well as the gardeners. We've been donating to the food pantry. As far as I know, my life has been a little crazy the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to totally monitor that. But we came up with a new system where the food pantry, because they actually come around and pick up at various sites. They, rather than us try to take it there because of hours that the town offices are locked down, we were having some trouble with the delivery. So they're coming to us now and picking up stuff.
Okay, great.
Let's see, I had one incident much earlier in this, it's been about a month now, with a person who should not have been in the garden. And we did take his plate number and I went to the police and dealt with that. So that's the only person. Nobody has reported any kind of major theft this year, which
Oh,
is
good.
nice. I think as much as that little fence it's small, it doesn't really keep out the wildlife, but it seems to be keeping the humans out,
Oh, that's good.
which is nice. They just don't want to cross that barrier.
Right,
Plus
right.
the gates are a little complicated, so it takes some thought before they try to open it. So basically, everything is good so far. Nobody has reported anything, and I'm going to be letting them know shortly that it's time for them to start thinking about the breakdown
Okay,
and how they want to leave, how they have to leave the gardens this year. And I assume we'll still go with the process we went with last year, that
all right.
we'll leave all the paths in place and then take care of tilling the garden with the new tiller.
Right.
Okay.
All right, very good. Does anybody have any questions? So Deborah, I had mentioned this in an email too. Let me just bring it up for everybody's information. I had mentioned that at some point after the new roof is on the shed, we as a commission are gonna have to submit a final report to the state for the funding that they provided us with, $25,000. And I thought it would be really good, if possible, to have a photo of the community garden on the front page of the report. And you know, especially when it's looking as nice as it's looking right now. I don't know if that's something one of the gardeners could take and send it to me electronically or something like that. I had mentioned a photographer in town, and you know, he's taken a lot of photographs around that we could probably approach, or it doesn't have to be that sophisticated, as long as somebody's got a halfway decent camera and take a shot of the garden so we can put that on the cover of the report.
Well, I have a gardener who has taken a lot of photos and
Okay.
I can send them to you.
Great.
She's really great about it. I'm not a picture person. I don't know what it is in my head that doesn't allow me to do this kind of stuff, but she's terrific. She takes pictures of everything. So I'm sure I'll send you what I asked her quite a while ago to send me some pictures.
Okay.
I'll send them to you and see if there's anything that you think is suitable.
All right, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Very good. Okay. The next subject has to do with the town administrator, our one we had retired as the 15th of July. We have a new town administrator coming in. Her name is Kristen, Kristin, Rubin, Rubin. She's currently the assistant town administrator for Leicester. She'll be starting on the 16th of September. And she has asked for a meeting, a 1-hour meeting with department heads and committee chairs. So I have scheduled a meeting with her on September 26th at 10 a.m. It's going to be a Zoom type meeting. It's not Zoom, it's a Google something or another. That's what it is set up, and we're all set to go. So those are technical terms I just used. You recognize that, of course, right?
It was impressive.
It was impressive. So that's all set up, and I'll report the outcome, of course, after the meeting. We already addressed the reminder to shut off the Zoom and also to turn it on, I guess, too. So that concludes the agenda for the evening. Does anybody have any questions or comments or complaints or observations? Shane, thank you again for willing to join the commission. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
And James, thank you for doing your Zoom thing. And everybody else, thank you for all
It's
your
another
work.
technical thing, yeah.
Another technical term, yes. All right, folks, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Have a second?
I will second it in honor of Kevin.
Yes, thank you.
Ah,
Good point.
Thank you, Deb.
Very nice, thank you. All in favor?
Bye.